Ding dong ding dong, that is the song. Jubilee, oh caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they bound, raising their sound, o'er hill and dale, telling their tale. Gaily they ring while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Ding dong ding dong, that is the song. With joyful ring, oh caroling. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. All the bells, it's silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is their song. With jubilee, oh caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they bound, raising their sound, o'er hill and dale, telling their tale. Gaily they ring while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Ding dong, that is the song. With joyful ring, oh caroling. Ding dong, with joyful tone to every home. On they sang, on without end, their joyful tone to every home. Ding dong, dong. Oh, can you cheer the sounds of cheer? Christmas is here. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we
All right.
to you.
Sorry. Not feeling great today, but that's all right.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
All right, that's enough of that. Let me just fire up the game real quick. Pretty sure I have it open here. And we'll just get right into it. Huh. Oh, that's right. We couldn't get it quite in the right position last time. That's all right. Let's see. Last time, somebody said my microphone was a little bit quiet, so I might reposition it over to directly in front of the face instead of off to the left there. Let's just hop into the game. Yo, Zobe, how are you? Let's see. Where were we last time? Did we have to... Hey, dun 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 dun. Yeah, so... Not feeling super great today, but I figured I would just do a little bit of a stream, and I'll probably go over the same talking points tomorrow, but I just felt sick today, all day. I'll get right into talking about the Game Awards, though, because that's really the biggest thing that happened today. Is the game a little bit too loud? Let me check the audio level. No, it should be just about right. Let me type a message here. Okay. So, the Game Awards was interesting, wasn't it? I felt like they were a lot more self-aware this time. And that just kind of worked out better for them. It felt like kind of a 10 out of 10, which is really unusual because normally they do a terrible job. I remember last year was very annoying. I'm not sure what that sound is either, but I hear a strange squeaking sound. Where's that coming from? Have you ever played the Nocturne of Shadow? Yeah, we just did that. Do you hear that? Is that a bird? It's strange. I would never watch a Game Awards. Well, it's kind of like one of those things that you watch even though you know you're not gonna like it. And I was going to skip it, but I wasn't feeling very well, so my brain wasn't, I knew that if I started a few hours ago, I wouldn't really be able to say anything. I would just be sitting there thinking like, wow, my head hurts. So I took some aspirin and drank a lot of water. And now I can mostly form coherent thoughts, which is a real positive. Oh, that's strange. Did she not? Oh, I guess we're all maxed out on magic. That's crazy. Let me make sure. Need to check one thing. Alright. That's working. Yeah, but it was a really fun. I don't normally like award shows, you're right. I don't normally sit down and watch those. Like, can you imagine watching the Grammys or watching the Emmys? I know people who do that, and it's like they're the type of people who are really, really obsessed with movies or certain musicians. But I think the Grammys are even less interesting than the Emmys, because when you watch the Emmys, you know you're gonna hear some ridiculous stuff. And they really kept ridiculous stuff to a minimum this time. Only one person tried to say anything that was even kind of a message, and it really wasn't even that bad. Sure, there was one or two parts where it was like, well, that's a little bit annoying, but for the most part, it was all very straightforward. I heard that The Last of Us 2 won another award. I was like, what the fuck? Ablu13. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think I should feel better tomorrow. It's just today, for some reason, you know when you wake up and it feels like there's just cotton inside of your head? It was one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everything sucks, and everything's fucked. I think that was Michael Jordan who wrote that song. I can't be sure though. Now, we come in here, we meet our future wife. I don't think we've done all of the beans in this game, have we? So that was actually the first thing that I wrote down about the Game Awards was there were just a few awards that went, well, in my opinion, didn't go quite well. And normally it's about half of them where you look at the results and you think, Well, this is totally rigged. This is just an industry thing, right? And, but really there were only just a few this time that you looked at them and you thought, how could anyone possibly come to that conclusion? And, let's see, I'm looking for the sages. The sage, I don't know anyone like that. I haven't seen you around, kid. What do you want? I want you. You're just a kid. The temple is no place for kids. Okay. I do not remember what to do here. Nothing, really. You have nothing to do. What good timing. Can you do me a favor? Oh, perfect. I want to ask you first. You wouldn't happen to be one of Ganondorf's followers, would you? I hate Ganondorf. Well, you've got guts. I like you. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Naburu of the Gerudo, a lone wolf thief. Don't get me wrong. Though we're both thieves, I'm completely different from Ganondorf. With his followers, he stole from women and children. He even killed people. Oh no, he killed people! A kid like you may not know this, but the Gerudo race consists only of women. Only one man is born every 100 years. Yeah, I was saying this last night. I really didn't get how that worked. And I thought about it yesterday, and the logistics are pretty crazy. Even though our laws say it's that lone male Gerudo must become king of the Gerudo, I'll never bow to such an evil man. By the way, what's your name, kid? No username. What kind of name is that? Well, now that you mention it, I hear that all the time, lady. Will you go through this tiny hole to get a treasure that's inside? Ooh! The silver gauntlets. If you equip them, you can easily push and pull heavy things. No, you're not taking the treasure for yourself. If you want to be a good boy, go give them to me. Ganondorf and his minions are using the Spirit Temple as a hideout. Once there, I'm gonna steal all of his treasure and mess up their plans. How about it? Hell yeah. I'll do something great for you. Alright, that is a sick deal. Did you witness the travesty that was the Game Awards? Yes, we were just talking about that actually. I have quite a lot of notes. I watched them because I was feeling sick, so I could have just streamed, but I wouldn't have been able to say anything really. I didn't realize just how shitty of a year it was for video games. What are you talking about? It was a great year for video games. Because there was only one video game that was really great. I've been playing nothing good but indies and oldies, so I didn't even realize. No, honestly, it was kind of crazy how there were just a few games that really stood out. But the first thing that happened in the show, I don't even remember what the award was for. I think it was best adaptation. And when it comes to a video game adaptation, like a movie or a television show, everyone knows. What was the biggest video game movie of the year? The Minecraft movie. It doesn't even come close. And it wasn't the worst thing ever made. I mean, it was pretty bad, but parts of it were good, right? And as soon as the award show started, the first thing they did was say that The Last of Us 2 was the best adaptation of the year. You know, Last of Us 2, the show that everyone fucking hated. So, I thought, oh no, we're off to a bad start. But it turned out to be unfounded. There you go. Oh shit. It could have been much worse than the DMCA. Yeah, the Devil May Cry anime could have won, you're right. But I guess the best thing it did this year was not win. That's the most decent thing Devil May Cry did this year. Oh, shit. Can I? Do I have to fight this guy? I think I do. Although, I've never tried just not fighting this guy. If he would get out of the damn way. Come on. Alright. Oh, shit. This fight's gonna be a lot tougher as a kid than as an adult. Hey, I got no username. How's it going? Not great. Not feeling super great today, but, started late. Couldn't think earlier, but we're gonna talk a little bit about the Game Awards and maybe try to get a little bit of a laugh out of them. I mean, I enjoyed laughing at them already, but still fun to talk about. Wow, that was easy. Okay, so all we have to do is... I heard... Oh, right, I read that. Watching the Game Awards made me feel so old, because basically everything up there looked samey and boring. Well, there were about 6 games that I really couldn't tell apart. And they were all of the Chinese wuxia games, because, well, I think some of them were Japanese games, but they were all so very similar. There was like Katana Zero, or was it Katana? I have it written down somewhere. I don't remember what it was called. Then there was Neo, then there were like 6 of them that all looked exactly the same, and I was like, oh, okay. So this is the new genre that's gonna get overdone to death. I see. Huh. Wait, why do I want to go over there? Oh, that's why. Right. Oh. Oh, right, I remember. That's not quite what I was thinking, but... Can I... Black Myth Wukong has been a travesty for gaming. Right. That's always what happens though, isn't it? You make one fairly successful game, and in this case it's very popular in the Chinese market. It's not really designed for the American audience, I guess, but I guess there's enough sales in America too that they're just hoping that wuxia games really become a big deal over here, and I'm not seeing it happen. Where Winds Meet is a fun game, but I haven't been addicted to it or anything. Right, why? Oh. Wait, if I just have to burn this guy... The best looking game was the Audio Surf spin-off called Audio Net. I think the best looking game was Ace Combat 8. I was like, oh shit, a new Ace Combat game, that's rad. I still have to finish number 7. So... What did I write next? I think it was consistently better, the Game Awards this year than last year. And I think one of the reasons was, it seemed like they were more self-aware, and they would actually make fun of themselves at parts. They weren't being too serious. They didn't take themselves too seriously. I think one of the smartest things they did was they had the Muppets. And even the Muppets made jokes about the award show being rigged. And it's like, that is... Okay. Okay, now you guys are talking a little bit more reasonably. I don't know if you should do that every year, but it's a hell of a lot better than what they did last year. Really. wonder if I can kill him with a bomb before I go over there. Would that be worth it? The Muppet song was pretty good, yeah. So then, other than that, the next thing was... There was one award... There were two, other than The Last of Us 2. There were only 2 awards that I thought, well, that's kind of lame. They weren't a big deal, but... A few awards they had really didn't matter, so I didn't even feel upset about them. Right, it was like... Games for Impact? Who cares? No one's even heard of these games. Those were basically these games were trying to push a message award. What was the message? Who cares? So, I couldn't tell you what game... No, I could. I was there, I was watching it. Some game called South of Midnight, which doesn't make any sense because one is a time, and the other is a direction, right? Last time I checked, it's not quite there. That would be similar to saying the darkest shade of midnight, which actually makes more sense because you can at least associate a color with midnight most of the time. And but the 2 awards that I thought were kind of a letdown were Streamer of the Year and what was the other one? There was Streamer of the Year and then the Player's Choice Award. Now the problem was, I think that they messed this up because for the Player's Choice Award, it was only... The winner was determined only by vote-ins, right? So people who actually voted for the game. And it's like, oh yeah, democracy, that sounds like it's fair, right? Well, the problem was they had 3 rounds of voting, and one of the games was a Gooner game. It was a mobile Gooner game called Wuthering Waves. And I don't know if you've checked recently, but people who are obsessed with mobile games like that tend to be psychotic. And so there's absolutely no doubt that what happened is the fans of the game wanted the game to win so badly, they must have made multiple accounts and voted for it en masse, probably even made community posts about voting for it, to basically way artificially inflate the voter count. And it's not unreasonable to think that, because I voted for Expedition 33 twice. So I could imagine some of those, well, psychotic people probably voted for Wuthering Waves 10, 15, 20 times. And that's why I think mobile games, well, not even necessarily just mobile, not mobile games, Gooner games should not be allowed to be voted on. That's not an acceptable category there. Oh, shit. Because they're just gonna game the system. So the only award that Claire Expedition 33 did not win was the one where the voting was easily manipulated. It won every other category that it was in. It won 9 awards. And it's like, that's nuts. The last time that there was such a total sweep was 1998, when Ocarina of Time came out, actually. He's just salty, ass Creed Shadows didn't win. Wait. The gacha game was giving out premium currency if people voted for it. Are you serious? Dude, that should have disqualified them. Jesus Christ. I was just assuming that something was wrong because the fans were psychotic. I wasn't expecting the game itself to give people in-game items to vote for it. That's insane. They shouldn't have won that. They should not have. I'd prefer Assassin's Creed over a gacha game. That's right. Was the show stacked with Gunnar weebs? I think there was a little bit, but it wasn't as egregious as it's been in the past. Like, mobile game of the year was Uma Musume, and honestly, that was well deserved. I thought, yeah, everyone was really obsessed with that horse racing game earlier this year. I never played it, but a lot of good jokes came out of it. People really enjoyed that shit. And I thought, you know what? Good for them. I didn't mind at all, because I didn't care about any of the mobile games in the first place. So it didn't matter. I think I saw more phone ads in this year's VGAs than actual games. That's right, there was an ad for Rust on mobile. And I thought, either phones are getting a lot better, or they finally figured out how to make a user interface on a phone that doesn't suck ass. Because there's no way you can play a game that needs as much input as Rust needs on a phone. But you're right, a lot of award shows do just end up being big. Well, that's really what they are. They're just advertisements, right? And normally I hate almost all advertisements of all sorts. But when you make your advertisement a little bit more of an announcement, it's not as bad if you do it like that, right? Now some of them were just flat out ads, right? Some of the ads were like, what the hell is this, a zombie game that did a 2-minute music video that didn't make any sense? Well, they just fucked up in the marketing department there. I really don't think that sold the game. When they showed about 15 seconds of gameplay that looked, well, pretty generic. And the rest of the anime games look like pandering stuff. Genshin Impact has also a disastrous impact on the gaming industry. True, I really don't think that most of those... God, how many are there? There's Wuthering Waves, there's Genshin Impact, there's Fallout Shelter, there's Blue... Is it called Blue Origin? I think Blue Origin. There's a lot of those games that just, they suck. They really suck, man. Ooh, that's gonna be too low. No, that's just enough there. Okay. I was expecting that we would get at least one more high-profile announcement. They even had Todd Howard present Best Direction or something. I don't recall which award he presented, but Todd Howard was only on the stage for about 30 seconds, and he had the perfect opportunity to say literally anything about the Elder Scrolls, and he didn't. I think that was a little bit of a letdown. Or a sigh of relief, I guess, depending on how you see it. Mobile games were the origin of the whale culture. Yeah. I actually kind of want to make a video about whales, because I'll tie into this later. I had another idea for what I'd like to do with the streams. Because it's like, up until now, I really haven't... I've been putting more work into them to make them better, because I've been enjoying it, but I also don't want to make it, well, a drag. So I thought of something that's a little bit stupid. Just a little bit stupid. But if it works, then it might be a nice addition to the stream. I'll get to that in a moment, but I would like to know just how bad the whaling problem is with these mobile games, because I know some of these games, you know, they have free giveaways and they're free-to-play games because they're really designed around poaching whales. That's really where they make the majority of their money, which is a very strange business model. Release a game, try and get it to millions of people, and your market audience is actually tens of thousands that are going to pay ridiculous amounts of money. Whoever came up with this idea must have had the hardest time explaining what the business model was going to be when they were setting up the company. Bro, hit me up. I can give you so much whale culture content from back when I made videos about Dark Side Phil. Oh my god! I wasn't even thinking about Dark Side Phil today and he still comes up. Oh. He's gonna be around forever, isn't he? I would not be surprised if someday, in the worst case scenario, there's a, let's just say that there's a nuclear war. Somehow Phil Burnell will not only survive, but his internet will be working, and he'll somehow have enough food to continue streaming from his basement while the radiation storms ravage the surface of the planet. Anyone who has a stable internet connection, well, there's only one streamer now, which technically makes him the best streamer. That is the sort of grimdark future that is more likely than not. A lot of the time, I think I heard somebody say this, a lot of the time you shouldn't be a pessimist or an optimist. You should just consider what the funniest possible outcome is and consider that it could happen. So it may happen. I think that was Michael Jordan. I don't remember who said that. Also, I think I'm forgetting something. My man knows that's how he finally beats the trolls. DSP is kind of like the main character of When Tails... That's a weird thought. It's not that he's like the main character in When Tails Gets Trolled, but he's similar to the author. Although I don't know. I think he's gonna have a pretty successful year next year. I really do. All signs point to total Phil domination. There's no brakes on his train. Mostly because he doesn't know how to operate the train. But, let's see. I don't think I've done this fight with the rabbit hat. Oh shit. I keep accidentally using that. I think I want to set that to... No, I just have to be more careful with it. Alright. Oh, that's right, we just went in a circle. Okay. There must have been a key in here that I've totally neglected. You know what? I realize I didn't actually light any of the damn torches. My brain is not working at full capacity right now, that is a fact. Yeah. He didn't even win LOLcowl of the Year. Who won LOLcowl of the Year? Was it? I think I know who it must have been. It must have been my dad worked at Blizzard, right? That's who I think certainly deserved it. One. Two. Okay. Are we gonna have time? Yes. Nova, LOL. Who is Nova? Maybe I don't want to know. I know some people get really, really obsessed with, following LOLcows. And I can't watch that much of a train wreck. It actually kind of just bums me out. Like, there was one LOLcow who was talked about so much, but it just kept getting more personal, and they kept crashing out more and more, that it just kind of depressed me. I couldn't watch it. It wasn't fun. Now let me check my next... Oh right, my next complaint about the Game Awards. However minor it may be, I actually think this is kind of a big deal. That's kind of a complete oxymoron of a statement, isn't it? So, Streamer of the Year, I was about to say who it was, and then I totally lost my train of thought. The correct answer was they gave it to Moist Critical. Hey guys, it's Moist Critical, which, sure, he's not a mean person. It's not like he's hurting anyone. But what's the old saying? Just because he's not hurting anyone doesn't mean he's not a boring asshole. I really... Listening to his videos is worse than sitting through math class. Hey guys, let me give you a totally boring opinion about something that I don't really care about. There was drama on the internet today. So guys, I made something new, and it's all penis jokes. Isn't that cool? Oh shit. He's been working pretty hard on getting his gaming channel. Oh, you see, I wouldn't know that because there's no reason I would ever check out his channel. But I'm probably being too rude about it. Congratulations and all of that. The only problem is that, much like... What did Kanye say all of those years ago? I'm gonna let you finish. But Sakura Miko was definitely the content streamer of the year. Out of all of those choices. And, if you think I'm totally biased about that, the answer is yes. Absolutely. Is that a VTuber? Yes! I could make a joke and say no, it's a way of life, but I'm it's not actually my favorite one. Not really my favorite one of those. In that group even. But still, they're very funny. And crying shame. Sounds like it. The correct answer, by the way, if I had to say which of them deserves Streamer of the Year, I don't know if deserves Streamer of the Year is the answer, but definitely deserves an award. Ozora Subaru. William the Alchemist. 99% of VTubers are too much. Yeah. 99% of them are. There's only a few that I can really sit down and just watch. And a lot of them are Japanese because they're a little bit less grating, let's say, than the English VTubers. 2 witches inhabit this temple. In order to destroy them, turn their own magic power against them. Hoot hoot. Did you get all of that? Yes. Anyways, I guess I've started talking shit tonight, so I'll probably cut myself off right there. There we go, silver gauntlets. Oh no. Hey, where are you taking me? You fiends, Ganondorf's minions? Get out of here, now! These witches, they're using black magic on me. I wonder how they did that. Yeah, she was gonna give us a reward. This blows. Right. Excuse me. Now, I wonder... I'm pretty sure we can go this way and check something out as a kid. But where... Oh, right. My question is, why are streamer awards given out during the VGAs at all? Oh, well, because there was a streamer award a few days ago, but nobody takes those seriously. Or at least, that's what I think. Oh shit. It's definitely gonna be harder to go back without the guide of the ghost, but it is doable. We might not do it right now because it is kind of a pain to figure this out. You really just have to do it through trial and error. And I know that there's a trick to this, but I don't remember what the path is. I think it has something to do with aiming at certain dunes. That could... Oh, that's very nondescript. Ridges on the dunes. You have to walk in a very specific way. See, we got further now than we did last time. Come up here. Turn right. There we go! I'm a genius. Ah, shit. Oh, we're close. Right. Come over here. Come over here. Don't run straight for it. Instead, angle this way. Shit. I'll figure it out later. Let's go back to... Bom, 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 bom. Bom, 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 bom. I think marketers take the Game Awards seriously. Yeah, marketers take the Game Awards much more seriously than the Streamer Awards, especially because the Video Game Awards, even though it's kind of, or at least in the past, it's been kind of a joke at times, not nearly the same as the Streamer Awards, where very not advertiser friendly, you could say. They're gonna have a hard time actually making that even a fraction as professional. It's really crazy to think that the Video Game Awards are more professional than the Streamer Awards. It's like, that's kind of like comparing shit to Shinola, but it's true. Now then. Let's see. Next page. Oh, right. I'll explain that idea a little bit later. I have a good idea I was mentioning earlier, but I want to flesh it out a little bit more first, so I'll come back to that subject in a bit. Oh, right. I actually covered that one too. Let's see here. What you got? Bombchu. Great. How many are left? I think there's only 2 left. You can quote me on... You can quote me on this, or can't. You can quote me on this, but we're going to see the return of shit-ass AAA games buying their award from Jeff next year. Yeah, that's what they've kind of been accused of in the past, is that, what's the point of the awards? They're all fake and rigged. Which at least they made a joke about that this year. And it would have been a much different award show if Expedition 33 didn't exist, that's for sure. Hideo Kojima might have actually won something this year if Expedition 33 didn't exist. I'm just glad that they didn't have any clear major upsets. I predicted that there was going to be an award that wasn't deserved, that Expedition 33 should have had. I just didn't think it was going to be the player's choice, because I didn't know that Wuthering Waves was literally cheating. So I thought they were gonna do something like give best direction to Hades or Ghost of Yote, which I'm very glad they did not do that. That would have been... Everyone would have been very, very upset with that. But yeah, the last time, I mentioned this earlier, the last time that there was a complete sweep like this was Ocarina of Time, which I don't know if they had the same awards. I think they've changed the awards a little bit over the years. But yeah, they won 9 awards, which is great. They deserved every one of them. Once Kojima makes not Metal Gear Solid, he's going to win forever. Oh right, he's making a new game that's totally not Metal Gear Solid. It's just a third-person action stealth adventure military-based game. Right. Totally original idea. New IP. And honestly, it's probably gonna be great. I'm not even shitting on it. Kojima doesn't make bad... Well, that's with a lot of asterisks. Kojima doesn't make bad games. Parts of his games can be bad, but in general, Kojima does not make bad games. Fizzant. The poster looked cool. Did they show a poster? Let's see, what else did I write down here? Total Warhammer 40k. But it's Total War Warhammer 40k. I'm glad that we're finally getting good Warhammer games, because Warhammer is an interesting setting. Very interesting setting. But the games, really until Space Marines 2, the games are almost always just terrible. I mean, really unfun, glitchy, just not at all a good time. There's actually you won't believe this, the PlayStation 1 does not have very many shooting, like first-person shooter games, right? Somehow, the PlayStation 1 has a Warhammer 40,000 shooting game. And it looks terrible. I mean, it looks really, really bad. We might play that on stream sometime if I ever feel like suffering needlessly. Which, that's not really something that I'm into. So, I'd have to have a pretty good reason. Total War has been on a massive downswing over the last decade. I think Games Workshop, for sure, has been on a massive downswing. But they did finally make some good games for it. When I say some, like 2. What were we doing? Anyways, tomorrow's Friday, coming into the weekend. Very excited for that. Very excited to not feel sick anymore. It's not like I can just predict I'm not gonna feel sick tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be as sick tomorrow as I was today. Yeah, Fizzant is the working title. The tagline was Next Generation Tactical Espionage Action Game. Right. Ugh. CQC. Are you talking about Warhammer 40,000 Firestorm? No, I don't think I've played that one. I was talking about... There was Warhammer Space Marines 2. And then there was the retro style one that was more like, it was more like Syndicate Wars. No, not Syndicate Wars. It was more like a 90s FPS. Highly stylized 90s a boomer shooter, really. Now then... We could just teleport straight back there. That's true. However... Shit, we don't have Kokiri Forest all the way unlocked, do we? With the beans. I haven't really done any fishing as Adult Link either, have I? We have the silver gauntlets now. Bolt gun, yeah. Gonoherpesiphylitis. I'm glad that word still exists. In other words, super AIDS. Oh wait, you're talking about me. No, I do not have... No, no. I thought you were talking about the zombies in the game. I was like, yeah, they look pretty bad, don't they? That visual is so cool. Dead men tell no tales, especially the ones with gigantic heads. Now then. I hear that bastard. Where is he? Oh, there he is. There we go. Now, do you need... You may actually need the golden gauntlets for this. Let's find out. Damn it! Okay, we can't go Super Saiyan 10 yet. Favorite reveal trailer? It was probably Ace Combat. There were a few others that I liked, but the one that really stuck out to me that was cool was it's like, yes, literally the best air warfare game that comes out every so often. Another installment? That's great. Did you guys see GTA 6 was formally acknowledged and criticized in the British Parliament by the Prime Minister before we got actual GTA 6? Ah. Wait, the current Prime Minister? What did Starmer have to say this time? Because every single time he opens his mouth, he just puts his foot in it. I'm really not surprised. Let's see. I think we have to jump off at just the right time. Oh, I forgot about that bastard. There we go. Oh. Divinity 3 went way too hard. It had one or two things in the trailer that I just kind of thought were, why do they always do that? But you're right, it did go way too hard. I've never played Divinity 1 or 2. I'm tertiarily aware of them. But they put a lot of effort into that trailer. That was a step above most of the trailers, wasn't it? The visual effects, at least. I mean, the whole thing was visual effects, but yeah. That made me interested. I wanted to know more. For example, is this game going to be any good? Now, Can I... Can I see it from there? Nope, it's already gone. Alright. I could just wait for nighttime. Yeah, I think let's do that. They're rough games. If you don't go in willing to sink 100 hours into them, or have friends. Aren't they? Oh, I remember now. They're kind of like Baldur's Gate, aren't they? CRPGs, but multiplayer focused. I can just barely see him right over the ridge. You could totally make a Steve Irwin video about the creatures of Hyrule. In fact, I would almost be positive that someone's done that before. A nature documentary. This is... Let me check my Pokédex. This is a Gwei. It's not actually what the Spanish say when they're upset about something. It's a small bird that lives in the desert. You can hear the sound of the Gwei. It's living in agony. I thought that was another very surprising thing at the Game Awards was I don't remember the name of one game, but for some reason they paid Werner Herzog to do the entire voiceover for the trailer. And that's not cheap. Werner Herzog has a great voice. They did an absolute W job getting Herzog. I couldn't tell you what the damn game was. I just like Werner Herzog. They just keep coming. That's annoying. Rockstar is Scottish, which is funny because they have their studios in my friend's hometown. Oh, so basically the baseline of Baldur's Gate 3 gameplay too, yeah. Rockstar sacked a bunch of employees in a questionable manner, and it was raised in Parliament. You know what, that reminds me of a YouTube sketch that I saw where the Polish government, their entire fiscal year depended on whether or not The Witcher 3 was going to sell well, because they had invested so much money into, oh, what is that game studio? They made Cyberpunk and The Witcher, which I've never played the Witcher series. I have them. I thought it would be fun to try those, because I do like open world RPGs and adventure games. Right, so I don't know why I've never bothered to play it, but I think I don't want to read about the story or anything and get it spoiled. CD Projekt Red, that's right. In Britain, the House Bros are English dudes. The House Bros. The Hauser Bros. Are those characters in the game? Let me check something real quick. This is a question that'll get you flamed. On a percentage scale of confident, how confident are you that the new KOTOR game will be... How confident am I? Well, that character looked a lot more... Oh, what's What's the lady who's in the new Star Wars movies? The one who never... I don't know if you've noticed this. I can't remember what her name is. I know the actress's name, but that's only because I've heard it complained about by YouTubers for hundreds of hours at this point. What is her actual character's name? That's how forgettable those Star Wars movies are to me. I don't remember the main character's name in Star Wars 7, 8, or 9. And it's only like one syllable, isn't it? Oh, it's Rey. Which I'm very glad that they used a Y instead of an I, because they almost ruined it even more. But the character looked a lot more like Rey than Bastila, and it wouldn't necessarily make sense for Bastila to be there either, but it looked pretty good visually. However, that's not the game, that's just the cinematic trailer. Now, my confidence level in them not making it bad, it would be much, much lower, except that they did get the director from the original game. Or one of the directors. So that brings it up to about 50-50. The Hauser Bros co-founded Rockstar is all. That's right, the two brothers. Same as the guys who made Sniper Elite. One of them is a historian you mentioned, who dresses like a peasant and... Wait, that's the same guy? Are you serious? I had no idea! That's so cool! I guess 50-50 is too generic of an answer, isn't it? That's kind of like giving something an IGN 7. I'll just say I'm more confident in it than I would have been if it was a new team entirely. However, the real problem with most... I think what people need to learn from the Game Awards tonight is how absolutely the French dominated the entire year, and really the business model that these AAA game studios are using. That's the thing, that's the problem. They're not actually letting people make video games, they're doing things by committee. And they're trying to make games that... Well, yeah, it's the same way that Hollywood makes movies. Is they have a board, and they want to make sure they hit all of their little check boxes, instead of actually letting people just be creative, write good stories, make interesting video games. That's why no one remembers how bad Star Wars Outlaw... I mean, they'll remember if they think about it, but no one's thinking about Star Wars Outlaws anymore. It came, it went, it was horrible. Ubisoft sucks. I didn't even think it was Ubisoft. I still blame them anyway. And, bum 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 bum. And, you know, Expedition 33 was only 30 people that really killed it. So if the game... that's such a weird thing to say. If the games industry... They're not going to learn their lesson because... Well, they suck. But if they did want to learn anything from tonight, it should be that they're doing something fundamentally wrong in the way that they approach making video games. I could have sworn. What if I jump off of the boulder to get that? I don't remember how exactly you do this. Let's find out. No, just short, right? Ubisoft, while I... not gonna say that. Almost got me there. You have to use the genie mod to spawn the items in, because the console commands don't trigger quest stages. What? It's a broken quest item. What? I must have lost track of what we were talking about. My brain is also very sore. So, I think somebody took a clip of Hideo Kojima looking a little bit exasperated when he didn't win Game of the Year. But I mean, people will take anything out of context. I'm sure he'll congratulate them if he hasn't already. Because Death Stranding 2, very, very interesting game. I haven't played it yet because I just played Death Stranding for the first time, and there's actually a little bit of a story behind that. It's not the most interesting story, it's mostly about how Xbox sucks. But the short version is... Can I jump over here? I can! I could have just done that the whole time. Okay. The short version is if you buy Death Stranding 1 Director's Cut on the Xbox Game Pass for PC, you can't save the game. You'd figure this would be something that could be easily fixed. It's been months, maybe 6 months since they put it on the Xbox... It's not even the Game Pass, just the Xbox storefront on the computer. Still broken. And I wanted to play the game and I wanted to beat the game. But in order to play the game, I had only one option, and it was to leave the game running non-stop until I beat the game. So I have I would have to check, but I think I have over 500 hours in no, that's an exaggeration. I probably have over 200 hours in Death Stranding 1. Not because I was actually playing it for 200 hours, but because I couldn't save the fucking game. There we go. But Death Stranding 2, I watched the entire playthrough of it, or an entire playthrough of it. Yeah, it's really good. It's just not Game of the Year, but if it was last year, oh, definitely. Definitely Game of the Year last year. They're just not traditional gaming games. No, they're really more of they're really something in between an experience and a theme park, their own little world. They're very fun, interesting stories to explore. And it's clear he just wants to make a movie already. But, definitely not Game of the Year this year. I mean, maybe definitely is the wrong word. It's close, but it's not quite Game of the Year. There. They're not walking sims, they're not interacting movies, but they're not quite action or resource management. They're almost like, I'm not sure how to classify it, because I'm gonna be honest, it took me almost half of the game to kind of get Death Stranding 1. It took me about half of the total time I played the game to actually really start enjoying it. And that's probably why it didn't do as well commercially as it could have, because there's very few, there are very few video game directors who you give so much benefit of the doubt to that you would play a game for, let's say, over 50 hours because you think, oh, it'll get good eventually. Yeah, do you think I would play a Todd Howard game for 50 hours because I'd have confidence in his ability to eventually make the game fun? No. Not at all. Right. Mario Kart robbed Sonic Racing, though. That was the thing. I didn't actually play any of the games in that category, so I didn't have an opinion on it. It is surprising, though, that is the only video game award that Nintendo won this year, which has got to be like a record low for them. I love the atmosphere of Death Stranding. Same way Shadow of the Colossus is 99% empty, but traveling and looking around is enjoyable. Maybe it's just a Japanese specialty. You know what? That might have something to do with it. That may have something to do with it, because traveling around Death Stranding 1, I think when it was really just maybe it's just the part of the brain that likes completing tasks, and you know, go ahead and complete these tasks, and then there's a story involved as well. It's almost like it's down to earth, even though it's a completely fantastical game as well. I'm not sure if that makes sense. Oh right, we have the long shot. Now then. I wonder if you can actually hit this thing out of the air. Yes, good. I wish Death Stranding had less action events with the rain, so I can just traverse the land. Sure, the rain can get a little bit overbearing. That is a fact. I think my favorite area in the game was either... Oh... I actually enjoyed the mountains a lot, and it wasn't specifically the later part of the mountains, but the early part of the mountains, because the verticality of going between the different snowy cabins, I thought that was really cool. That was probably my favorite part of the game, to be honest. Now, trudging through the snow, that can suck. And honestly, if there were a version of the game with less BTs, I almost think it would be better. Because that was my number one complaint about Death Stranding 1, was sometimes you just couldn't fucking go anywhere without getting assaulted by the undead hordes. They're not really undead, but you know, the poltergeists in between worlds. So I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? You know, one thing you can do in this temple that really makes it a lot simpler is to use the hover boots from the Spirit Temple. I've mentioned this before, I really like how non-linear this game is. Persona 5 is a game that took too long to get good in my opinion. Still haven't played Persona 5, I'm just familiar with all of the characters. And the base... I think we've talked about this, haven't we? I mean, I might have. I'm not feeling very well, I can't remember anything. Let's see. I'm going to get up in a moment to grab some water, actually, but that'll be in a moment, Now, what else did I have written down here? Shadow of the Colossus, I still have that. That, I did start, I got a notebook specifically for this. Games to stream. It's not in order. I just have a growing list that I actually have by category. I arrange the pages by category. What type of game. That is on the list. Right up there with Natsuiro High School. Do you like any Final Fantasy game besides 7? Oh, buddy. Somebody can hit the bingo card again. Yes. Yes. Yes, oh yes. I'll tell you all about that in just a moment. But I want to conclude the rest of the notes on the... I'm sorry that my head is... I'm not thinking very clearly, so... my sentences aren't coming out complete. That's the other reason I need to pause for a second. My brain is fried. Okay, do I have to... I do. You know, I just remembered we actually got the fire arrows. Like last stream, and I totally haven't bothered using them the one time. Shit. Oh well, problem solved. Where'd he go? I could have sworn he was over there. You dirty bastard. I know he's just on the other side of that wall. Oh, that's so cheap. Okay. Maybe this, what is this thing called again? Beamos. Maybe it has, magic, huh? No. Well, shit. In that case... Now, what did I have here? Let me go to the next slide. Ace Combat? Right. Oh! Another thing that was interesting. A new pod racer game. That was definitely a surprise. I was not expecting a new Star Wars pod racer game. Normally, whenever I see a video game and it's Star Wars, I groan a little bit on the inside because it's crazy to think that, you know, when I was a kid, Star Wars games, those were always some of the best games that you could have. Not always, but it was crazy that there were so many good Star Wars games on the computer and the Nintendo. And Pod Racer is another example of that's kind of ridiculously fun. And it's just kind of surprising that oh, that's strange. I thought that would have worked. I could have sworn. Okay. What if it's I know there's a way to summon the Scarecrow, but he's not wanting to cooperate. KOTOR, Star Wars Obi-Wan, the Katarn series, Jedi Apprentice. Fuck, man, we really did have it back in the day. Oh, you know it was a really, really good game. Frustrating at some points, but really good. And I wish that they had continued with a sequel or something. It would have been a great character for an open world bounty hunter type game. Such a cool name for a video game as well. Shadow of the Empire. Just ridiculously cool. Oh, there we are. It was okay, I wasn't blown away, but I understand it's very old. I played VII. Oh, Wii Remote V Remake. 7 Remake? And again, I liked it, but it's different and it didn't blow me away. 16, worth trying? IDK, not for me. I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. I don't think I'm going to play 16. It just doesn't seem... First off, it was made by Yoshi P. Second off, it really doesn't seem like a Final Fantasy game. It just does not seem like a Final Fantasy game. There are parts of the story that I watched that seemed a little bit like Final Fantasy, but something about it, it just doesn't have the same DNA. I mean, I'm not sure how to describe it, really. Something is just wrong. Something is just wrong with Final Fantasy 16. One moment, did we actually get this heart piece over here? We did. Is there a false wall? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it might be the case that there is a bombable wall behind this. No, okay. I could have sworn there was. They wanted to do a bounty hunter game back when Amy Hennig was still lead writer, but Neil Fuckman didn't want it, huh? What, the characters weren't ugly enough for him? Alright, I'm actually gonna go get that water right now. So, give me a moment. Let me set this down. There we go. Let me, oh boy, how do I do this again? I think it's this button. Right. Alrighty, thanks. Let's see, which button is it again? It's, this one. I need to change that transition, because it's too abrupt, but let me fix this real quick. No, that covers the whole screen, doesn't it? Yeah. He couldn't make a self-insert scene where he, yeah. What the hell? YouTube lets you say that, but the other things it didn't let you say? That's insane. Oh, man. Somebody the other day was telling me how YouTube was censoring the hell out of what they were trying to say, and they're very inconsistent with that stuff, aren't they? Oh, wait. I didn't want to go to the Desert Colossus at all. Gotta get fancy with the terminology. True and real. Requiem of Spirit. Nocturne. Dude. Warp to the graveyard, yes. So, but no, I was actually really surprised about Star Wars Pod Racing. That's basically what it is. They called it Star Wars Racer, or Racers, but everyone's gonna call it Star Wars Pod Racer, for sure. And... Oh, that's right. So, the maps... I don't know if you've spent a lot of time playing Pod Racer, but I recognize a lot of those turns they had in there, and I'm very excited to see if they can make the courses really high definition, really just... It's basically a remake, in my opinion, based on the number of maps I saw. And what looked cool about it was that it wasn't just pod racers. They also had bikes and speeders and... Well, they're probably going to include a few other types of vehicles as well. And my hope for the game is that they go with a semi-open world, almost RPG approach, even though it's a racing game, and make it kind of a blend between Need for Speed, Paradise. Is it Need for Speed Burnout? There's some game where you actually travel around in the overworld. They probably won't do that since they're on different planets, but it would be nice if there's actually a little bit more of a story to the game and a character you can explore, maybe, as long as they don't screw it up, really. And you could actually make it a much more in-depth game. I think, what's an example of a game that I'm thinking of that would be an analog to that? Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 is a really crazy interesting game, because it's a Street Fighter game, but just by adding explorable maps and basically Yakuza mechanics, they really made it a better game. As long as they don't screw it up. Yeah, well, good point. This should only take about 50 seconds. Last time I think we did hit exactly 50. Or am I thinking of without the bunny hat? Because he's certainly moving faster this time. Go to the right. Damn it. He's gonna go left. There we go. 47. I don't think he gives you anything for beating him a second time. Oh! That's interesting. Okay, now let's not screw this up like we did last time. Bum bum ba-da-dum, bum bum ba-da-dum. There we go. So, what was the... Right, the Muppets, Ace Combat, next flashcard. Phantom Blade Zero looked great. It did. Out of all of the similar looking games, like Neo and most of the ones that I don't remember the names of, Phantom Blade Zero totally looked like that's what Katana Zero... I mean... that's what Ghost of Yote was trying to be. But, well... Ghost of Yote was made by Ubisoft, so it was terrible. Can I... Yes. I know there's... Wait, what the hell? I could have sworn there was something up here. Unless if you just have to come up here in order to make the next shot. No, that doesn't make any sense. What the hell? Oh, that's strange. Muppets need to be banned from the VGA years ago. What are you talking about? The Muppets were actually pretty funny. They were the most self-aware part of the show. Violating our personal space, he must have something better to do. Don't you agree? Oh, that's right. I'm positive there's a hole in the ground up here. But where? I'm an old curmudgeon. I'd like to see them get on with their words and stop wasting time. Having some levity is fun. Honestly, the Video Game Awards would be a lot more boring if it was about 15 minutes long. They got up, they played one song, they said, alright, here are the awards. And then they left. That might be funny to do one time as a joke, but the presentation was pretty nice this year. I thought, there's... What was the game that we were talking about earlier that had the man that was burned inside of the wicker statue? Disavowed? Something 3. I was very confused by the way that they introduced that. They said something along the lines of, the answer to the oldest question of all time. Villagers came out. Then a few of them were pulled into the air by wires as if some sort of witchcraft was going on before they all disappeared. And I thought to myself at the end of it, wait, they never told us what the answer to the... They never told us what the question was. What are they talking about? Did everyone just forget that the whole premise of that setup was to answer the oldest question, which they then proceeded to not explain? I was very confused by that whole thing. I know if you collect a certain Poe, I think it's the Great Poe, which you find either in the graveyard or near the Gerudo Valley, there's a fellow who will give you a heart container, I think. Otherwise, the normal Poes are worth almost nothing. So the game is going to answer the source, what the source is and where it came from. Oh. It must be something related to the first two games. The ghost shop in town. Because of the great Ganondorf, it is a fine time for a business like this. Alright, well, here's a Poe. Your card has 0 points. Oh, that's right. You build up points from this guy. That's what it is. Let's see. It's a normal Poe, 10 rupees. Alright. Yeah, this guy, pretty funny. He's just sitting in this, what used to be the bank, just drinking and doodling and looking at ghosts. Not really a deep character, but an interesting one. Do you guys think there will be a Red Dead Redemption 3 after GTA 6? There was only an 8-year gap between 1 and 2, maybe within the decade. Revolver was good, but the fact they took off instead of a gun is an actual crime against history. Oh, I misread that at first. I think this game is so good. Hey, sorry, I just saw that. I'm not really reading very well right now. So, I agree. Ocarina of Time is fantastic. And speaking of the Game Awards, as I said, in 1998 or 99 when they had the Game Awards, Zelda was... I think that was the last time that it won every single category that it was put into. It might actually only be Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and now Expedition 33 that just completely obliterated the Game Awards. Like, no question. As far as Red Dead Redemption goes, no. I am not at all thinking we're gonna get a Red Dead Redemption 3. Basically, however long it takes to get Skyrim, that's how, I mean, fuck. I almost called it Skyrim 2. We're more likely to get Skyrim 2 than the Elder Scrolls 6 by the end of this decade, okay? Actually, by the end of the decade, that's crazy. Basically, whenever Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, that's the benchmark for how long is it going to take to get Red Dead Redemption 2. The country of France bought Jeff. I'm not sure if they can afford Jeff. I thought that the speech that the writer of Expedition 33 gave when she received a reward was actually pretty good, and it's not surprising. It's almost like she gets paid to write things that sound very nice. But she seemed like a nice lady. What was I doing? Did I not... Were the ice arrows in the ice cavern? Not that the ice arrows are actually very useful in this game. They're not actually that good. They are interesting, but they're not that good. No, I forgot. You get the ice arrows, I believe, from completing the Gerudo's challenge, which is really kind of a pain in the ass. Where's that chicken? Gun is the Call of Juarez tier. It's just gonna be you, huh? I don't recall if the Gerudo have a store. I don't think they do. Yeah, the only problem with jumping down here is that you have to go the long way around to get back. Wonder how much of a fit Andrzej Sapkowski is going to be for The Witcher 4. Right, I haven't watched the TV show because I don't want to ruin the game for myself. I am familiar with this. I am familiar that they replaced the main character. He's kind of in a bad situation. No matter how good of a job he does, everyone's a big fan of the other guy who I think started the series. So, if anything, he should do a really, really over-the-top, corny job just to piss people off on purpose. There's no way he's gonna do that, but if you're already going to fail for no reason... Oh, you... you bastard. Not worth watching, not even remotely tied to the games, or the books, in spite of saying he was going to stick to his own source material. Oh. It's just... It doesn't stick to the source material, but is it bad? Oh, you... That's twice in a row. They must have programmed that specifically to do that. That's oof. Alright, where is this bastard? No, there's still one up there, isn't there? It's bad. Oh, I see. Sapkowski was the writer of the novels, and he's disabled because... Oh wait, he's disliked because he sold his IP to CD Projekt Red for a flat payment of $207,000, then bitched and moaned about he didn't get royalties. Oh, okay. He's quoted as saying, "Video games are not a medium for storytelling." He's one of those guys, isn't he? Okay, well, it's probably a good thing then that CD Projekt Red got the rights to that. He sounds like one of the types of people to burn down his own house to spite his face, cut his own... Boy, my aching back, I'm tired. To cut his nose off to spite his face. That's what I meant to say. Now, have we already gotten everything in Lake Hylia, or is there something in the tree? I would think that there is something in the tree. Yes. Mm-hmm. There we go. Once the sorceresses turned into the slugs, I knew it was all over. What? I watched Witcher Season 1, and it's not overly preachy or a mess. I would say that it's bad, just kind of a nothing burger. Like a good effort amateur show. Well. I can't really think of a show that I watched recently that... Actually, no, that's a complete thought in of itself. I can't think of a show that I watched recently. I just don't keep up to date with that stuff. I don't watch Netflix or Amazon Prime, is that what it's called? Amazon something? Or there's a billion different streaming services now. The guy who's given CD Projekt Red license to make Cyberpunk... Oh, I know that guy. Eric something. Seems quite the opposite. Like, he's writing CDPR's coattails, if anything. No, he was pretty successful beforehand. I think he's just enjoying that he gets to spread Cyberpunk to more people. If anything, I think the sales of the tabletop game have increased. It's been a mutually beneficial collaboration. He's a smart guy. He really is. Even though he lives in Washington State, which is... horrible choice. Which, I'm being very facetious there. I'm saying that specifically. I have some friends that live there, and if they hear that, it'll irk them a little bit. That's what I mean. TTRPG core books are huge moneymakers if you aren't wizards. I don't think that Wizards of the Coast could... I don't think Wizards of the Coast could successfully run a lemonade stand. I really don't. I think that should almost be like a mandatory thing that you have to do every so often, is take a refresher in business by operating a lemonade stand or something like that. Just to see if you even know how to make $5. Because if you can't run a lemonade stand, you shouldn't be managing a multi-year project. This is the Gerudo's training ground. Membership cards verified. Ah, shit. I didn't want to do it right now. If I leave and come back... Ah, no, I just got gypped out of that. That's fine. Now then... There's a lot of small things that you can do in this game, but even without doing them, we're still going to end up with pretty much all of the items. I don't remember where the hell you get another bottle. That's strange. You can find a 4th glass bottle, and I don't remember where it is. It could even be a reward from the diving game, but I don't think so. The original guy was successful in TTRPG, but I mean in terms of story, when I look for literature on Cyberpunk, it's all post-CDPR. Yeah, I don't think he was really writing novels, he was just creating the setting, really. But that was back in the 80s. I mean, it's been around for a while. He made it successful. I wonder what else he's worked on. I might actually check that out. Because people that creative typically just don't make one thing. Damn, there's really nothing up here. Ba-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. More Ocarina, yes, dude. Ocarina is fantastic. The Ship of Harkinian, because for those of you who don't know, this is actually the decompile, or is it recompile, of the code running on the PC. So this isn't emulating via N64. This is its own thing. It's its own program. There's a lot of options that you can do with that. Like, a lot of options. And I haven't really done most of them. Excuse me. But the frame rate, slight graphical improvements, but not to the level of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D remake. Still, it's just very, very damn good. You need the... I don't think you technically need the hover boots to get there, but it's very hard to do it otherwise. Anyways, me out. Later, my fellow Inwas. Yeah, man. Have a good time. Have a good night. Like I said, I'm feeling kind of sick, so... Not gonna be a super late stream tonight. Not gonna be a super late stream. The show is a sub-part of the books. You should check them out. The Witcher, right? Yeah. I'll look it up for sure. I hear the same thing about Game of Thrones. Now one of these... Oh. Shadow Temple. Is he gonna say that every time? William Gibson always gets recommended too, but I specifically like the world Mike Pondsmith created, or as I found, creation on Pondsmith. Moon and Star. Did I get turned around? I did. Not. I'm starting to get a headache again. Okay, and I still haven't gone through all of my notes about the VGA, surprisingly. Okay, come on, move, 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 move. And now, I think we can try this again. Over here. Now, oh, you bastard. Oh, jeez. No, that didn't work last time either, did it? I forgot. That does not work on this guy. And he's immune to fire. This guy's not tough. I have the bigger on sword. I'm just saying. He's a little bit annoying. Because you actually have to get grabbed by those arms in order to have him resurface. Unless if I don't know. What? Alright, fine. So, another Mario movie announcement, but this time it was Super Mario Galaxy or something. Well, Nintendo is smart. I hear they're making a Zelda movie as well. They should make their games available on more platforms than just the Switch. But then again, it's Nintendo. They can do what they want. They have more money than China, like an entire country. So if they want to stick to proprietary systems and start making their IPs into movies, then go for it. As long as we don't start to get like a flood of Nintendo movies that don't make sense. Like a Kid Icarus movie. Could it be good? Yes. Is there a lot more potential for it to be bad? Also yes. Because you can just imagine, even if it was live action or if it was... if it was, just animated. There's a lot of potential there to mess up. I won't say why, but if you know anything about the character design, you could easily mess that up and turn him into a... well, it would attract weird fans. If that makes any sense. I guess they could make a Donkey Kong movie. That could be interesting. Because that's a much more interesting cast. All of the monkeys. the simians. Oh. Ah. Okay. Now I know that I don't feel like doing this puzzle tonight. Can I teleport out of the dungeon with the E? I should be able to. And actually that was almost all of the notes. I skipped one because I'm too tired to explain it. But there's new Expedition 33 content as well, which is awesome. The only problem is that I was playing Expedition 33 on the Xbox Game Pass. And now that I broke my computer by fixing it, Xbox Game Pass isn't working. So I either have to fix my computer again without breaking it somehow, or I would have to buy the game again on a different platform, and I'm not sure if the save file would work. So it would just be kind of like throwing money away, which is not something I like doing. I think I'll have to fix my computer for that. I get a weird vibe. Sorry. I get a weird vibe from his films. I can't see past real-world actors just playing make-believe, trying to get me to feel emotions for an insane amount of money. I think you mean just most films, or whose films? So the new content in Expedition 33 looks like some new outfits, a new area that looks like Candyland. It looks like it's based off of the drawings that Verso made when he was a kid. So new enemies, and new music as well, by the same composer who won the Best Soundtrack Award. So fantastic. I know I'm missing something in here. I'll think of it eventually. But yeah, those are most of the notes that I wrote down about the Video Game Awards and a few other things today. So, if I start running on empty, it's because I am. Oh, right. That's just a shortcut. The one Hollywood director, the one really, really big budget movie director that's still making movies today, who I actually like enough that I remember his name, is, Then I had to remember his name, which wouldn't be a problem if I wasn't coming down with a cold. The French guy who made Blade Runner 2077, Dune 1, and Dune 2. his name will come back to me. But he's really the best they've got going right now. If you recall his name, I don't, but he's very good. Oh shit. Starts with a... No, I'm sure it'll come back to me. So there are some other games that we could play tonight, but like I said, it's going to be a shorter stream because, well, everyone knows the best way to deal with a cold is to sleep a lot and drink a lot of water. So that's going to be the plan. Oh, it's gonna make us do a, Alright. Anything else to say about the Video Game Awards? I can pull up a list of the announcements and see if there's any that I missed that jog my memory. But a lot of them, as with any award show, a lot of the advertisements, they're not really for you. They're trying to appeal to all sorts of types of different groups, and I think there was only 1 or 2 games this time though that were really just not up my alley. Kinda like, I'm surprised though, I don't think there was a single farming game presented, which is a huge departure. A lot of the time these award shows, they're filled with, it's not Animal Crossing, but it's basically Animal Crossing. How many versions of Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley do you really need? I'd say just less than 5, preferably. Of course they're gonna make other versions of it, but we just don't need so damn many of them. Oh, I see. Right, this is where we were. And we're gonna do it the smart way this time. And use overkill. There we go. Missing a key. Oh, right. Which one could it be? Can you tell with the Staphlos? I mean, you can't, can you? Okay, you do have to make him stop right on the... Okay. Damn it. Now, since he's in the right line... Oh, you bastard. Come on. Just trying to barely... There we go. Now for the fun part. And by fun, I mean... this is one of the harder fights in the game. Just because it's so damn strong. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. Now we get the... there we go. The mirror shield. What time is it? It is 2:07, so we'll just go a little bit longer and then I'll call it a day. Yeah. Just because, not to sound like a broken record, but well, my brain is very quickly ceasing to function. Alright. I think I would really like to see Hideo Kojima and Quentin Tarantino make a movie together. Not because I think it would be good. Do I think that Hideo Kojima could make a good movie? Yes. Does Quentin Tarantino make entertaining movies? Yes. But they're two very different people that I do not think would be able to co-direct a movie together. So the result would be... well, the result would be worth seeing just to see what happens. Thanks for the streams either way. They're the chillest of the chill. Oh, thank you, dude. I have fun with them. I wouldn't do it if I wasn't having fun. And that's kind of the whole idea, so I appreciate it. Now, is he gonna turn all the way around, or am I gonna have to kill him? I think we're good. Oh yeah, we're good. Now, if memory serves correct, if I go through the door, it might lock me out. Oh yeah, this one. Right. That's kind of a strange way to do that. What? Oh, what I think if Hideo Kojima were to make a movie, it would probably be very similar to his favorite Japanese movie, As Above, So Below, which is not about submarines, surprisingly, but I'm not sure. I think you could actually... I think he could make most any type of movie, but it would probably be a thriller of some sort, regardless of the genre exactly, because the difference between a video game and a movie is that with a video game he can spend about 2 hours in cutscenes very quickly doing whatever the hell he wants. In a movie, you only have 2 hours. That's the entire thing. So he would either have to have somebody that would drastically curtail his ambition and say, no, we really can't do that. We have to compromise. Or else it would end up being a 5-hour movie that would go over budget and would be unwatchable. I mean, not unwatchable per se, but unintelligible, maybe. Oh, you can, okay. Perfect. I think the other reason I'm gonna go to bed early this time as well is because my motor skills are starting to deteriorate. If he makes a film, it'd be a horror thriller with Norman Reedus and Hunter Schafer, I think. They seem to be his favorite actors. Yeah, I don't really get why he likes using Hunter Schafer, but he's a weird choice. If you want to see something interesting, it's usually, they make posts on it on Instagram, I think, or Twitter, or X, but if you check out his social media, there's videos of this as well. Whenever he has an actor come to Kojima Productions, they typically sign a big wall. So he has an entire wall of all of these autographs of various actors. It's gotta be a pretty big list by now. And I just realized the door that we opened and didn't go through, that must have been where you get the boss key. So we'll get the boss key. We might not actually do the boss tonight because Twin Rove is very fun. That'd be a good way to start the next stream. And well, you know. I think the worst idea, though, would be if you hired Hideo Kojima, but then asked him to make a comedy. I think that would somehow be the worst possible outcome. A slapstick comedy by Hideo Kojima. I'm trying to think if there's any novel that he would really excel at directing, but he definitely seems to be capable of making a more serious movie. Maybe it would be interesting if he were to remake an old movie that is one of his favorites, which a lot of people haven't seen. There's one movie that I watched from Japan that came out in the 1960s, I believe, It was called "A Cult Is My Passport," and it's about a guy who's a assassin for the Yakuza. Really damn good movie. Basically, they hire an assassin to take care of a problem. He does. They double cross him. He has to get out of town. There's a couple of car chases, and the ending scene is a big fight between the Yakuza that are trying to snub him out and the lone assassin. It could really use a remake. It's very good, but it's a little bit dated. There we go. Oh, okay. Hunter Schafer also recently did a cinematic slasher horror. That's right. I think they were in some sort of mental institute. I recall seeing promotional material for that, but I never watched it. I don't know if it's in theaters now or if it was in theaters recently. I don't want to have to kick. I don't want to have to kick her ass right now. I mean, we're pretty much right there. Shit. No, we'll save that. We will save that. One of the reasons I like to get the hover boots for the Desert Temple, which I know it's not called, it's called the Spirit Temple, that's right. One of the reasons I like to get it is because the fight with Twin Rova, you're up on some elevated platforms, and it actually helps quite a lot to be able to run from one platform to the other instead of having to climb up them every time. Some of the items in the game you get from certain dungeons really help quite a lot in the other dungeons, but not all of them. Some items you get, I can't really think if there's an item that more or less becomes worthless. The ice arrows don't really do anything in this game. The light arrows serve two functions. Fire arrows are just flare, kind of. They did help in this dungeon, and they can help with lighting torches, but really bomb chews are an item, I think, that they don't have as much use as they could have had. But they also don't turn it into a gimmick either, which is great. Sometimes it's the right tool for the job. That's all there is to it. Is there anything else I want to do in the game tonight? Bom 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 bom. And in an update to Kojima's new horror game, OD starring Schafer, OD, came out recently too. Seems possible Kojima would move in a very designer cinematic horror film. Which, that's possible. I think if there were anyone that I would trust to make a good live-action version of Psycho-Pass, it would be Hideo Kojima. With assistance from Gen Urobuchi. But I think that he could direct a live-action version of Psycho Pass that wouldn't suck. Which is a tall order, because it's very hard to make an anime live-action movie that doesn't fall apart. And I get it. Psycho Pass Season 1 is fantastic, but it came out 12 years ago and it's not everyone's favorite series. Even though it somehow, inexplicably, got funding for 5 movies and 3 seasons, a video game, and they still have new merchandise coming out for Psycho Pass. You wouldn't believe this. If you go to the Psycho Pass store, they have the strangest collection of merchandise I think I've seen in a while. You can buy stationery, you can buy clothing, you can buy various knickknacks, trinkets, etc. But you can also buy whiskey. You can buy Psycho Bass branded water. And of course, I have no reason to buy like 90% of the stuff on the store, but it's so interesting that they thought, you know what, we need to make Psycho Pass branded whiskey from the one time in the show that a character has the character trait of really liking whiskey. It's like, why did they... Who thought this was necessary? But a live-action version of Psycho Pass, I guess it really depends on which actor you use. Right? Because if you went the Japanese -1 route, which really, that is the direction that a lot of movies should move in. Because Godzilla -1, probably my favorite film from last year. And what are we sitting at here? Let's see if we can find the lure first. I think Kojima is getting old though. Not old, but he was saying in an interview he might make 1 or 2 more games and a movie, and then he's gonna retire. Which, that could mean soft retire, where he still gives advice, or that could mean retire. But what do people do when they retire in... I guess that's a silly question. What do people do when they retire in Japan? I think the better question is, what do creative people do when they retire? I think a lot of them really enjoy what they're doing. That's why Ridley Scott, well, he's still making movies, and the guy's like 100 years old. Clint Eastwood, same thing. Oh wait, is Clint Eastwood still kicking? I think he's still kicking. It's so weird. I know somewhere around here is the lure, but we haven't been able to find it this time. I could look up. I know that it spawns in one of several locations due to RNG. But I checked the 2 that it's most commonly at. I'm just running in circles now. Maybe you actually need to have the fishing pole. Let's check. We're really almost done with the game because we could have already beaten Twin Rova by now. And you're my only customer. I'm almost out of business. Seriously. What, are they taxing you? On top of that, my hair. Never mind. Well, do you want to go fishing? Okay. Now, let's see. I don't remember exactly how you do it, but 9 pounds. I think if we just point directly at him. Oh, missed. There's 100% a way where you can get the hat off of his head. I just have to remember what angle you have to stand at to do it. Oh, that's... Oh, I didn't mean to do it twice. Ooh, oh, ooh, we almost had it. Actually. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so you can't drag it through. You have to get it right on top of his head. If that's the case, if I keep going back... Oh, that's so close. And... Oh, I thought we glitched there for a second. Ah. We'll try it later. Okay. Now that we have the fishing rod, maybe it'll spawn now. Doesn't look like it. I really wish they actually gave the location a physical clue. Because you really can't catch the Hylian Loach without it. I don't know if that's true. You might be able to. But I don't think you can. Okay. No takers, huh? That's a big one. This guy's only gonna be like 7 pounds. Or not eat. Ooh, you bastard. That's alright. I want to talk about something. You don't know the old saying, a great fisherman never chooses his own lure? Did I actually have to ask him? Did I actually have to ask him for the lure in order for the lure to spawn? Oh, that's gonna bug me. If that's the case... Ah, boy. Not the best fishing game, maybe, but... there are worse fishing games. That's true. You know, somebody asked a lot about Final Fantasy earlier. I said I was gonna get back to it, and I never did. I will talk about that tomorrow, I guess. Final Fantasy 15. I will say this. I've said this before, but the game did 3 things right. Iris Amicitia, who was underutilized, so that one hardly counts. Cindy Aram, and... fishing. I don't know who was working on the fishing for Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, 15. But that was pretty much the only part of the game I enjoyed. Didn't care about the cooking, didn't care about the boy band, didn't care about the story, which made no sense. Couldn't care less about any of that. But the fishing was good. There's really... I'm gonna have to look this up after the stream. Where the hell is the damn lure? Oh, that sucks. And how are we looking on heart containers? 0. Oh, well, if that's the case... 2:30 now. I went about 20 minutes longer than I expected. So... I'm gonna go ahead and save. I'm gonna swap us over. I think I'll leave this playing in the background. And then I'm gonna check something out real quick. And then we'll call it a night. Final thoughts section, I guess. Yo, chill stream, bro. Wishing you the best for real, for real. Keep it up. Hey, man. Cool moves. Thank you. That's very nice. Yeah, a bit shorter tonight, but, like I said, I think I'm coming down with a cold. So, let me just check this out real quick. I'm gonna go to Google. Oh, I've knocked my sticky pad. Alright. Now let's see. Oh, that's gonna get annoying. Let me close that, actually. I'll put on some generic Christmas music instead. Which, do I have that tab saved? No, I don't. Alright, Xenogears it is then. So let me just Google all things announced at Game Awards. Let's see if there's anything that I missed. I won't repeat myself since we talked about this for about 2 hours. But if there's something I see here... Oh, Resident Evil! Right. They confirmed that Leon Kennedy is going to be in Resident Evil, which... At this point, I have no idea what the timeline is supposed to be. 14, let's go! No. No, I'm sorry. I don't think I should continue Xenogears right now because I'm very tired and I can't think. I might for a little bit, but I just meant the song from Xenogears. I really like this song, both because it has the same chords as Ray 3 from Neon Genesis Evangelion, but I really like this melody as well. It's actually stuck in my head. It's been stuck in my head for weeks. But as I was saying, when it comes to Xenogears, Resident Evil, I have no idea what the timeline of the story is supposed to be anymore. I don't think it matters at this point. It's just put me in a mansion and fill it with zombies and make it a terrifying experience. That's really what I want from a Resident Evil game. Actually, let's watch the trailer again. Let me open this up in a new tab. Oh, that's funny. I forgot that I had that picture saved. I'm gonna show you this picture actually. There was one thing that I briefly mentioned that I decided not to bring up all the way because I still don't know if it's possible to do it. So it's a work in progress. But I was thinking I was thinking of something that I could do to improve the stream that directly involves this image. I'll just leave that as a bit of a teaser. Yeah. So, is this a short or a long trailer? Let's find out. 3 minutes 24 seconds. Okay, no, that's a bit too long. We're not gonna sit here and watch. No.
Who are you? Craft.
Oh, geez, that's loud. I'm sorry. No, it's a bit too long of a trailer to watch right now. But Leon Kennedy in Resident Evil again. Nice. Tomb Raider. I guess we could use another Tomb Raider game. Control Resonant announced. My friend is a big fan of it. I've never played it. I watched him play it. Mega Man, they didn't really say anything. It's going to take 2 years for them to make that game. The Street Fighter movie. Oh yeah. I had no idea what the hell Andrew Schultz was doing there. But I thought that was actually kind of fun. I hope that that's successful. Or I hope that it's really bad and it's easy to make fun of. Both are a win. Gang of Dragon. It sure looks like Yakuza. Well, they said it, but I was thinking the same thing. Highguard entered the Game Awards with a look at its new take on PvP. Well, IGN, that's one way to say Concord 2. Yeah, a lot of the games that were forgettable aren't worth mentioning. Let's see. Like 007. I don't think it looked interesting at all. What else is there? Neo 3, Mario. There was some strange Badger game that was supposed to be like a parody of Cyberpunk. I don't understand some millennials. I really don't. Anything else? Orbitals, Warframe, Hitman. Haven't played it, but it's popular. Anything else? No, I guess those were the major announcements from it. So, on that note, I could sit here and fire up Xenogears, but I don't remember where we ended last night. I don't remember. I think what happened was Fei Fong Wong had just gone through human instrumentality and had come out the other side as a fully reassembled person. Or maybe he was about to be completely reassembled, and we might have killed our own father. But then it turns out that our father wasn't our father the whole time. He might have been dead because... Oh man, that's right. Lacan, aka Graf, who's also somehow our ancestor from the past that we're a descendant slash kind of a clone of, has the same powers as Miang and basically puppeteered our father's corpse for, I don't know, more than a decade, just so he could have the opportunity to be there at this exact moment, so he could try to fuse with us. And I'm pretty sure that that was after about an hour of cutscenes, and I lost my mind, and I was so tired I had to stop playing. You know what? Fine. I stayed up later than I should have, but we'll just play a little bit of Xenogears, and then I'm going to bed, for sure. In fact, I think I still have Xenogears open. Yeah, no, it's still open. Right. So we're in a fight with Lacan at the moment. Or Graph. Let me change the game capture source. Oh, I have to go find the controller. Hold on. Thanks, I will. Or at least I hope I do. I'm gonna take some cold medicine, and I think I'm gonna sleep like a rock. Where the hell is Xenogears? Do I have to... One moment, I might be too brain dead right now to actually run the game. Whoa, no. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. Now, I'll be back in just 1 minute. I have to go find where I put the PlayStation controller, because I'm not going to play this on the keyboard. I've been playing it for too long on the controller. So, 1 moment, please. Oh, I didn't turn the microphone on. I said, alright, but we're only going to do this for a little bit, and then we'll stop, because I can even feel my back starting to ache. So, let's get right into it. Oh, after I change the... Right. Brain... Hold on for just a few more minutes, okay? I'm talking about my brain, that is, not... There we go. Wow, Xenogears is popular tonight. That's cool. Let's jump into it. I was about to go to sleep, but I guess I'll be watching some Xenogears. Hey, don't stay up on my behalf. I'm also very close to falling asleep, so I'm gonna set a target of 3 o'clock, and if I make it, I'll probably stop there. Now, attack level infinite. Let's hit him with the Go 10. Right, right. There's something about... It got really complicated with, something about killing God, but then not killing God, but then God was from the 4th dimension. And he's actually more of an alien. They went really crazy with the story last night. I'm not sure if I'm gonna understand all of it on the first playthrough. I probably won't. It is confusing that he's doing 0 damage to us. I don't know why. Is the game a little bit too loud? Because that sounds pretty loud in my headphones. Maybe it's just that effect. If this immediately goes into another... Why don't you finish me off? If you don't get rid of me, you cannot get what you want. This is gonna be another one of those... You killed me. That's exactly what I wanted, isn't it? It's alright, Dad. I understand. You are not Graf. You are my father. You and Graf are one. Your will and purpose will never change. I knew that once we fought, but let's stop now. Our objective should be the same. It is the same as our becoming one. We don't have to fight. My headphones are stuck on something. There we go. Ah, what? My body! Zohar is after you. The last piece to combine with Deus' system. It seeks to unify... Oh, right, the voices. It seeks to unify with... I can't do it. The first to have been divided from it. What? This is what Lacan wanted all along. After all, I'm an imperfect existence. It was inevitable that it would come to this, considering what had happened in the past. Lacan's imperfect secondary contact with the wave existence, holy shit, split his personality in two. Eventually his body died, but the original Lacan transmigrated, bringing the destiny of becoming a contact with him. He was reborn as your present body. The remaining persona, just his desires, lived on separately by possessing the bodies of others. That is Graf. That is me. I may have inherited Lacan's will, but I'm not the same thing as the contact Lacan. It is impossible for me to make real contact. There would be no true meddling and release. Melding and release. Even though our bodies may be different, I'm still half of you. That half remains. That's what they meant by the fourth one. Although I'm imperfect, I can merge temporarily with Zohar, and thus may be able to buy you some time. This is the only way I can be one with you. This is all I can do. Deus' system will start to look for you again. Before then, you have to destroy the newly perfected Deus and this Zohar modifier. You're the only one that can destroy the physical barrier that encases God's body. Dad. As you said, that was Karen. What? Through many generations, Miang is beginning to break free from her bounds. Oh right, that part, that was messed up. Now that Elheim has merged... It really is the heart of Lorcan, yes. Now that Elheim has merged with Deus, she has all of her memories back. All the memories from her original birth, as the contact's complement up to her current transmigration. This is a mouthful. That includes all of the lives she has lived as Miang and her substitutes over the centuries. And of course, that includes your mother's memories too. Damn it. We already banged her. Now you're telling us this. Okay. And that's not a joke. That really happens in the game. Faye, cut away all the binds on mankind. You should be able to do that now. Save her and all the other women bound with her. Okay. I'm begging you, Faye. Did he just... Alright, Sprite number 2. What's this? This pendant. Is this Sophia's or my mother's? It's nothing, I'm talking to myself. I'm sorry for all the trouble I've caused everyone. Thank you all so much. Anyways, let's get going. There's little time left now, for me and for our planet. I don't want this game to end. I really don't. These mech designs in Xenogears are so cool. Dude, they really are. This is where it all started. This is our genesis. We, no, humans were born here. Long ago, Deus crash-landed on this planet, in an interplanetary colony ship. Oh, the very beginning of the game. In order to revive itself someday, Deus detached the Zohar modifier's core. After this core unit came down here, a single woman awoke and rose out of it. Holy shit. Are we gonna get the name drop that I was thinking last time? Is Ellie's real name Eve? After she awoke, she used all of her power to bear several beings. These would become the ancestors of the whole of humanity. These were the Emperor and the Gazelle Ministry. What? Finally, she gave birth to replicas of herself to be humanity's caretakers. 2 selves, the human mother and the weapon, the subject and the complement. Ellie and Miang, she's the same person too? Oh, I mean, she's a split person. Oh my god. I thought that they were actually separate. The sole survivor from the the sole survivor from the colony ship. What? Oh man. Everything started from there. Fei Fong Wong just became a much more interesting character. The land of Genesis. Katamoni. This is that place. That is incredible. That you can clearly remember the past so long ago. I mean, usually human memories cannot be passed down through the generations. Humans do not normally have the ability to compress and store memories in their introns. I don't even know what that is. But Ellie and I, and Miang, are different. Due to our connection with the wave existence, that is due to Zohar's ability to change possible phenomena, we can clearly store data in our introns. In other words, we can leave behind memories to be inherited by our descendants. That's nuts. Just as the wave existence is bound inside of Zohar, the information is affixed to me, so to speak, by some of the existence of by the power of the wave existence. Which is that 4th dimensional alien that we conceptualize as God in the game. Faye, what's this? This is the form from when Ellie and Miang were still one being. This is the first woman of our world. What? Our mother. Genova. Holy shit. Is that a skeleton? Wait, did they take the skeleton? So if we destroy that Zohar thing, everything will be over, right? Yes. The source of our ether powers and the source of power for the generators that make our gears work. It all comes from the Zohar modifier. If we destroy it, Deus and the Seraph Angels will all be deactivated. And then we should be able to free Ellie, who has become bound to the Deus weapon system as Miang. Right, Faye? Yeah, that's what the wave existence said. But then there's the downside. It will also mean that we will no longer be able to use our gears or our ether powers anymore. What are those Seraph Angels all about anyway? That's an odd appearance, as if they lack something, as if they were neither living beings nor mere weapons. Zohar senses the human consciousness and incarnates the Seraphs. Human consciousness? Oh hey, Billy's still on the story, alright. The Zohar itself involves the principle of uncertainty. Oh my god. Dr. Dickweed, please stop fucking this story up. The observer's perception of Zohar determines the entity it actually becomes. In other words, I believe that those angels are incarnations of the spirits of people. Oh. The people who have been absorbed by Deus to become parts of it. So what merit is there for them to gain in eliminating all of civilization? It all returns to nothing, my dude. Of course not. Those people were created and assimilated as part of Deus would not have such intentions. Try to remember Ellie, when she became Miang, said, "The creations of God will someday be a hindrance. That is why they must be eliminated." Yes, that is why Merkava is being used to begin the destruction. The hell is Merkava? But Deus is not following its programming of exterminating all of civilization. The Seraphs, which are terminal interface weapons of Deus, are using their bodies composed of nanomachines to absorb massive numbers of people regardless of whether or not they are dead or alive. It's not discriminating between the mutant and the non-mutant people. This is highly peculiar. Oh, thank God. I looked around. Tomato-chan is safe. That's the only important part. The fact that the people are meant to be destroyed are being taken in as well. That is the absolute opposite of what it is supposed to be doing. Maybe there aren't enough parts. That is unlikely. Aside from those bodies that were just destined to be parts for it, Deus, who has already acquired the abilities of the nanomachines, can just about use any material. Huh. It has other intentions in mind. I wonder how easily a couple of game devs with AI could upscale something like this. I don't know. But I would kill for a remake of this game. Well, actually a remaster where the second half isn't mostly a PowerPoint. If God is the mother, then those motives are coming from the Great Mother, impeding the growth of its child, enveloping it, to bring the child back to the womb to become one with it. What? That is its motive. Such a program does not exist within the design, though. It was probably given this unique will by someone, either from Ellie, who has merged with the Deus, or... Either way, it doesn't change the fact that we have to fight. Okay. The problem is how we're supposed to deal with them. Zephyr, this is a secret battleship. Excalibur will also take part in the final battle. Alright. The entire surface military will assemble here. Are you serious? We still have the problem with the main armament of the Merkava. We need to know how to take that out, as long as we don't do that. Oh, fuck. Merkava's that... I forgot. Merkava's that huge-ass ship that looked like the colony ship from the beginning of the game. That rose out of the ocean. God. ultra long-range cannon has the ability to vaporize any substance. How would you know that? You wouldn't even know that. Shut up, dude. On top of that, they have a barrier around their perimeter that nullifies all attacks. We fought against the Merkava many times to try and stop its onslaught. However, we cannot even get close. Hence, we have to withdraw everything, every time. Damn it, no matter how much we want to save Ellie, if we can't get inside the Merkava, it's meaningless. Give me a second. Ugh. To add to that, there's the problem of those seraphs, which are literally just the that's just straight from Evangelion. They function as the terminal interface weapons for close defense. You mean point defense drones. I can easily say that their attack power is equivalent to the Omnigear class. How would you know that? They even have, yeah, Xenogears, it's that time. Merkava is the Hebrew mystical throne of God. You know, I think I should have known that. I should have known that, but I did not. That makes a lot of sense. Almost everything in this game is... Let's see, you've got Shiva, you've got Merkava, you've got... If they start talking about a well of souls, I'm going to be a little bit nonplussed. They even have the regenerative ability close to the nanomachines. I forgot, who the hell is this guy? He's the scientist that taught Lacan 500 years ago? And Krelian. Don't be concerned about that. I was able to obtain some data from Xenogears. You see, Xenogears have... Xenogears have mutagenically evolved due to its contact with the Zohar. Using that data, all of your new gears ought to be completed soon. Additionally, the other weapons and armaments are being modified to implement the disassembler device. It feels like we're getting a huge lore dump, and all of these things are things that we would have had to accomplish if the game was running like normal. Like, we would have had to do these as individual parts of the game in order to get ready to do the fight. But now they're just saying, yeah, we did that. Off screen, off camera. Disassembler device. In contrast to the nano-assemblers, which create matter to repair with, the disassemblers have the ability to dismantle or destroy matter. Alright, entropy much? They can even deactivate the nanomachine's restoring ability by disengaging their repair programs. They should be sufficiently effective against all the Deus Seraphs. Alright, even if we can deal with the angels. How do we deal with the Merkava? We can't even get close to that thing. There is no such thing as a perfect defense. There is a way. Look over... What if we build a giant wooden woman and offer it as a gift and then hide inside of it? And once Krelian takes it in, during the night... Okay. What do you have? Merkava's main gun requires a 1.2 second interval to reload because of the tremendous output. Upon firing, it's only sectional. There will be a portion of the barrier that will be opened. There's a 1.87 second delay. Oh, okay. If we can use the window of time to target and destroy the cannon, it will be possible to close in on it. So you're talking about using a 0.6 second difference between the barrier opening, firing, and reforming to take a shot through the barrier to destroy the cannon. If we can get close enough, we can break through with gravitational spatial correction. Okay. Well, this is the rough idea. Let me guess who's going to take the shot again. Billy, right? That could require such a target in a brief time frame. So what are you saying is we just need to shut that annoying cannon up, right? Like I've said previously, this whole game is a deep cut of the Bible. It's like a sci-fi reboot. I can kind of see that, yeah. Now more so than previously. Now that you're being reckless again, that's suicide. No, listen. You see, what I've been wondering about Tomato-chan for a while is, are those shorts? Is that a skirt? Are those pants? Because to me it looks like she's wearing boots, then you can see her legs up to about halfway of her thigh, and then she's wearing like a... I think she's wearing a dress. And armor for some reason. No, I think that's her thighs, yeah. Same color as her face. The Yggdrasil 4 and the Excalibur are also equipped with the barriers. Oh my god. I totally forgot. I totally forgot because they did the whole thing in about a 2-minute segment of the PowerPoint section of this game, where for some reason, the thing in the what was the name of the city-state to the north that we were fighting about half of the game? That had a giant ship, which somehow Excalibur merged into and became a giant mech that's like 50,000 feet tall. It's really, I don't remember why that happened or how that happened, but apparently it happened. Although only for a short time, we can withstand a direct hit from Merkava's main cannon. Then we can close in and watch for that part of the barrier to go down, then destroy the cannon. How long will our barrier last? About 20 seconds. That's all? It wouldn't matter how fast we fly. In that amount of time, we'll be without a barrier before we can get within firing range. Huh. I'm not suggesting we go in guns blazing knowing we're gonna lose. We're gonna physically put a lid on it directly. What? As you've said, the Yggdrasil or Excalibur's barrier can't sufficiently defend against Merkava's attack. At least with one generator, that is. Meaning, we can defend against the Merkava with twice the amount of time if we couple 2 generators together. Well, maybe, but where do you get the second generator? Just hear me out. Okay, are you gonna say it, or... This is what we do. First we transform my Yggdrasil into its heavy assault mode and load it onto the Excalibur. Oh no. No, 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 no. No, dude. Don't tell me you're going to ride the ship. Okay. By doing that, we can reduce... Oh, what the hell? What is that thing called when you see slight stars? I didn't stretch or anything, that was weird. By doing that, we can reduce the energy usage down to just supporting the hull of the ship and generating the barrier. This will allow most of the energy to be devoted to generating the barrier. Next, shift the barrier to full front and focus it on a single point where their main cannon will make its strike. Right? For propulsion during that time, we'll install on the Yggdrasil those large solid rockets we got from the ruins of the mass driver. The what? I do not remember that part of the game at all. I actually want to look that up really quickly. Hold on. Mass driver Xenogears. What are you talking about? The mass driver facility is a relic left over from the Zeboim era. It is located in Elru continent, just north of Tower's Melchior House, in the Anima Dungeon 1. What? During the game's second disc, Ellie and Emeralda go to the facility and use it to fire a special warhead into the atmosphere, which disperses a special nanomachine all over the planet that removes the genetic limiters placed on the world population by the Gazelle Ministry. Unfortunately, an unexpected side effect occurs when the limiters are removed. Some of the people begin mutating into Reapers shortly afterwards. You know, if we actually played that part of the game instead of getting it summarized in a 15-second cutscene, that would make a lot more sense. Ah, this is the frustrating part about the second half of this game. Right, so you strap a rocket onto it. When Excalibur's barrier expires, we'll use the Yggdrasil 4 engine generator to develop a barrier. We'll detach the solid rockets and shift the Excalibur into conventional flight. Using this method, we can get right in Merkava's face after it fires and it'll be defenseless. During this time, we'll block the muzzle of Merkava's cannon with Excalibur's bow ram. Wait, no, bow ram. You should have just said bow. Upon which, we should have 0.67 seconds. That's what I said. With the cannon fire of the Excalibur, we'll destroy the Yggdrasil 4's slave generator. What? And incapacitate the Merkava along the way, and then we break through. That's what the plan is all about. The combination of the barriers of both sides, storming the Merkava, the timing of the cannon, fire the Excalibur. These are all going to be crucial. Mess up any of these and the consequences are going to be severe. Hence, it'll be necessary to have both crews in sync with each other. That's why I'd like to place Sig in command of the Excalibur. I have no qualms with that. What do you think, Queen? Will you lend us your battleship? Okay. I'm just gonna skip through this part right now. They're just talking a lot. We'll hold them off. You can count on us. Thanks, we're depending on you. Already. Everywhere else has been taken out. This is the only place that's left. This is going to be the true final battle. No way. Oh, fucking cutscene. Okay. Dude, wait a minute. That shit sounds so awesome. Don't tell me that you're going to... Oh... Oh no. We set out to silence God's Ark, Merkava, which was the epitome of offensive and defensive power, and then the storm inside it. We initiated the operation to destroy Zohar. Okay, yes, okay, finally, at least we see this part. That sounded way cool, way too cool to not have a visual. Okay. Okay. That is so ridiculous. Okay. No way, dude. Dude, no way. That thing is so damn big, and we've just completely... That was kind of anticlimactic, actually. It was really cool. It just seemed that was resolved very quickly. A secondary explosion. Oh fuck! I should have known better. Dr. Dickweed, you fucked us again. The explosion was too big. It reacted with the main condenser right under the cannon and induced a secondary explosion. How could I have been so stupid? Well, Doctor, you mean we overdid it? Why did I not realize it sooner? This means... Oh, fuck! Oh my god. Ellie! What is it? What is it this time? Hey, Satan, what is going to happen? Something is happening in the center of Merkava. What could it be? All according to Keikaku. Oh no, Keikaku worked too well. Oh shit. It... What? Dude. Okay. I don't even need to say exactly what this reminds me of, do I? Oh, man. Oh, not to sound like a broken record, but dude, this is so sad that they keep doing this. At that time, the earth quaked and shook, and from the location where the Merkava crashed, a giant object appeared. It was Deus's final form. The Merkava was merely its vessel. Deus evolved through the use of Krellion's nanomachines into a planetary-scale weapon and began terraforming. It was attempting to convert the entire planet into a weapon. We retreated back to the base at the snow plains to form a new strategy. We decided to go back into Deus. Time was running out for us. Oh my god, I can actually play the game. Crazy. The part that's actually... I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Which save slot are we gonna erase? Because they're all very good for very different reasons. I think this is the one that we were using most recently. Okay, file, gear, abilities. Man. Is this a new location? They said the ice base. Because at first this is the music from Shavat, isn't it? Hello. Alright. It must be very cold outside if you're keeping the livestock in... Okay, no, I guess you just do that. Alright. Hey, what's up? Ava, Kislev, Nissan! We've all been feuding for such a long time, but finally we're coming together as one like this. But it's probably already too late. By the time we notice anything, it's way too late. How could we possibly stand up to God's army? The situation is really hopeless. Yeah, you're right, dude. Though this base is the last refuge for humans, as you can no doubt see, we have almost no supplies. Anyways, we're using a fallen piece of Shavat as the main base. That's why it looks familiar. But you probably could have guessed that, huh? If we can take out Deus even one day sooner, we can't hold out much longer like this. Alright. Hey, welcome. What can I do for you today? That's a good question. Sonic Wave is an increase. Thor's Thunder is a huge increase. Okay. This is the last time to get ammo for Billy, really, isn't it? I guess we'll get some ammo. I don't know if we need it. Oh, that's even better. That's a lot of ammo. Anti-ether rock L. No, we're good. Okay. Anything else? No? Hey, thanks. Come again. What? Hello, birds from Shavat? Hey, aren't those Pico tiles cute? They're going cheap too. How about it? Want to buy my Pico tiles? What use do you have for money? 20,000 for the lot. Oh shit. Why have you done this? They're really delicious if you grill them. Lady. I know nothing. Nothing. Lady, what the hell? Oh man. They're having a rough time. Hey, they still have a bar. That's, you know, one thing. I lost all kinds of good stuff here. You need anything? Oh, shit. We're probably good. Okay. Us people of Shavat have always dreamed of coming down to live on the planet's surface, but we didn't ever imagine that this is how it would be. This is unbearable. It's gotten awful cold. I hate the cold. It's killing me. We'll all be frozen before Deus can finish us off. Yeah, it looks like it. That's a strange way to not animate fire. Burn, burn. Burn up this whole world. Okay, well, it's too bad that you survived. So many have died. If this continues, even more will die. It's the same as 500 years ago. What's going to happen to our world? Oh my gosh, they're burning the books to stay alive. That's, oh, yeah, that sucks, dude. What, does he have gear parts? He does. Alright, what do you have? Oh, well, I guess that ammo was not for... Wow, he really doesn't have very much going on here, does he? Extra armor plus 7. How many do we need? It's actually really cheap. We might get, like, a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need at least 21. Light armor. Oh, let's get a couple of these just in case. And actually that should really pretty much do it. Except for... No, I guess everything's all good. Come again and I'll give you a better deal. Yeah, better you than me. You dick. Oh, okay, well at least there's one child left. 2, 3. We are to be judged. The last day is nigh. You too should be careful. All according to prophecy. You don't say. How old are you? Just when I thought I could ride the UFO, it's not flying anymore. On top of that, this guy keeps saying annoying stuff. Oh, I see. Yahoo! Alright, alright. Just when I thought Prince Bartholomew would return and being priest to the land of Ava, just goes to show you never know what might happen in this world. I've heard rumors that a part of Nortune, the old capital of Kislev, survived. I wonder if they're still conducting that barbaric bar-telling thing. Really, I ask you, what are we to do with our guys these days? I don't know, but the doctor might still be alive. Don't tell me that Dan fucking survived. God damn it. You little shit. It's not like things are gonna turn back the way they were, it's just... He's sorry, huh? I'm just glad that I could finally make peace with you. Take care, kid. Midori. Faye, I was scared a little, but not really scared. Because I knew that inside of this monster... okay. The only good thing Satan has ever allegedly done. I still don't believe that's his actual daughter. She's way too normal. Are we... how do you... Is it triangle? Yeah. Come on. Oh, Queen, what do you see with those eyes? That look of sorrow, as if you've lost something. Okay. Okay. Whew, 1 second. One, two, three, 4. We came out of which door? Oh damn it! Don't go into a cutscene. Oh. Oh. Wait. Those two locations on the right-hand side of the map, they weren't there before. Neither were the other two on the top left of the map. Are you fucking kidding me? It finally seemed like that was the final battle. The plan worked too well. We blew up something that seemed like it would have been a huge part of the end game, just completely destroyed it, caused it to crash, completely awakened God. God is terraforming the planet and killing everyone. Now we're basically the rebel empire in a small base in the Arctic, and we're all freezing to death. And now the game plays normally again. Fuck. Oh, god damn it. My controller disconnected. Well, that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Wait, I didn't... No, I'm not done here. What? No, no, you dick. Land the plane. But we found out that Deus is in the center of the giant structure created out of the fallen Merkava. Yeah. To penetrate into there and make our way into the center, that structure used to be Merkava itself, but we must assume that inside has changed significantly. Please be very careful. Land the fucking plane, dude. Faye, are you sure about this? Bart, I know what you must be thinking now. If you destroy Deus, the proliferation of the nanomachines that are out to turn this planet itself to a weapon will stop. But if you end up losing Ellie, who was united with Deus for that very purpose, then what good will it be? She's our friend who's been through a lot with us too. Okay, come on you guys, just land the plane. I'm sorry, I just want... This is not necessary to have this conversation right now. But first, there's one thing that we have to check. And if you've watched any Xenogears stream that I've done, you know exactly what it is. Excuse me. Yes, okay, she's fine. Good. You're the only one who can save us. We're counting on you. Oh, shit. Young master, you better not die. Promise me. Of course. I'm not going to die. Quit saying weird stuff. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. You'll make it back. When you come back, I'm going to... Well, I just thought maybe I could be closer to you, you know? Ah. Hey, whoa, quit it. Do you know what you're saying? Just kidding. Young master, you're all panicked. She just totally, okay. Bart, you pussy. Tomato Princess is the best. Funny, I don't see Curb anywhere. Where did she go off to? Change party members? No. Let me know again. Damn it, she is... too funny. And on that note, actually, that is the perfect time. I played this about 30 minutes longer than I intended to, and now I'm absolutely shattered. Physically. So, let me save, over slot 7. 6. Alright, now close this. Open this. Play some music and close it out for the night. What song should we close it out on? Oh, well, I guess there's only one logical choice. Let me find it real quick. Stream music. Dun dun dun. Alright, thanks everybody who came to the stream. It was fun, and
this is a song about Xenogears.
I don't feel very well, so I'm gonna go to bed.
You're missing out.
Alright. Good night.